Well, certainly pleased with the fact that we came away with the win today. I was disappointed in our effort to start the game. I thought our guys came in and didn't have the right effort level, right focus level that we talk about playing with, and let Towson operate in a comfort zone for pretty much the entire first half. We got a really nice spark at the start of the second half from Yuri Covington, who really struggled in the first half, but I thought he really helped us get going there in the second. And then we were able to, I thought, just play a little better on the defensive end, and certainly reflected in the points allowed and percentages that Towson shot. Obviously, Connor Kachera was tremendous all weekend and today with 30 and 12, and a lot of winning plays for us. And then Luke Lowy, made the big stop at the end against a really good one-on-one player in Zane Martin. So pleased with the result, and I think there's some things we can learn from this one.
Open it up for questions.
Coach, this is Kyle Andrews from the Baltimore Sun. I just wanted to ask you, how did you find Connor just in the first place? I mean, the kid, he can ball. I mean, just simply said, and he was able, to create his own shot. He was able to catch and shoot. He was able to take it to the rim. I mean, having a player like that who's so young, who has so much room to grow. I mean, what does that do for a basketball club like you guys?
Well, I'll start with the first part of the question. He's from the Chicago area. He actually attended the same high school as one of our assistant coaches, Mike Howland. So that was how we knew of him. Watched him play over the summer. Thought he had a real veteran presence about him as a kid we recruited. Thought he had unbelievable intangibles, and the production that he's showing now is probably even more than we were anticipating, coming into his freshman year. He just plays, like you said, he plays like a veteran and just has a great way about him. And, he works incredibly hard outside of practice, at practice. He's a great guy in the film room, studies the game a lot, watches himself, watches our opponents. And, when we recruited him, I do remember he asked me, he said, why do you guys want me? And I probably spent 10 minutes talking about his intangibles before I even started talking about his game. And he just fits a lot of what we want to be about. And obviously he just had a tremendous weekend.
Dane, you guys played, your defense just took it up a notch in the second half compared to the first. Any adjustments or anything they were just doing differently that made you more effective?
The biggest adjustment that we talked about was playing with better effort, playing with better focus, and communicating better. I think that that whenever you're looking at a team having success against you, I think the first thing you always look at is, are we doing what we need to do as well as we can? And we just didn't feel like we did in the first half. So there wasn't much of a schematic change at all. Just more doing it the right way and the way we practiced it. And I think that just once we started playing a little bit better on that end of the floor, our guys continued to show that correct level of effort and focus.
And on the final possession, first of all, you call a timeout right after the basket, which I'm assuming you did because you figured you weren't going to have numbers at that point. Is that right?
Yeah, we called timeout at the basket. I wanted to get Mikkel back in the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That's a good enough reason too.
Yeah.
And then after that, you had several fouls to give, which I guess means you were playing good defense without fouling. How important was that to be able to get, I guess, 2 fouls that you were able to give, or that you were able to take?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is what you said there, is that they just weren't on the foul line very much throughout the course of the game, and they took 5 free throws in the second half. That's the most important piece of it. And then when you have something to give right there, it just allows you to hopefully mess up a little bit of rhythm. And if there's any set play that's drawn up, you hope it's harder to execute with less time on the clock. And at the end of the day, I think everybody knew where the ball was going, and it was a matter of being able to get a stop on Martin.
And Connor, I mean, you could probably talk for hours on what he did today, but and it really seems like he's made an effort in the last few games or last several games maybe to drive. He had a couple of rebounds that he went coast to coast on. Is that something that he's always had, or is he starting to develop that a little bit more now?
He's always had an ability to get in the paint. He's really crafty. The one thing that he does really well is he seeks out contact. He's a really physical driver, and I think a lot of guys when they get to this level, especially, uh, they're they think they can just put the ball on the floor and go lay the thing in, and realize it's a lot harder than that because of the size and athleticism. But he's a guy that seeks contact when he drives. I think that's what helps him get in there. Like I said, he's done an incredible amount of work off the floor and trying to expand his game. Our assistant coaches do a phenomenal job with player development, and I think the way that these guys have all developed since they've been here is a real credit to them.
And 12 rebounds, which you guys were able to hang with them on the boards in this game very, very evenly.
We did, and that was a huge key. And they had 17 yesterday. They had 14, and they went and got them today again. But I think that the thing that we did that matched them actually was we had a ton of second chance points ourselves, and I think that's a real credit to Ben White. I thought gave us a great boost in the first half when we needed it. Quinn was in there a couple of times, and Connor had a couple on the offensive end. So that was really big for us.
You touched on Yuri earlier. Only played I think 5 minutes in the first half, and then he came out right away in the second half and was very aggressive. Got to the hole. How important was his contributions there in the second half, especially getting you back into it?
I thought it was huge because we needed a little bit of a spark. Like I said, we just didn't have that right look to us, that right effort level early on. And I told him afterwards, it's hard to go and do that when you don't play very many minutes in the first half. And the minutes he was out there, I thought he really struggled. He did not play like he's capable of playing. But when he went out there and got us going a little bit in the second half, I think that really helped our team and got our team confidence up a little bit, which was big. And then, he played. I don't know if he came out in the second half. He was out there a ton, and I thought he just gave us a great look. The last basket that we scored, it was a 2-on-1, Yuri and Connor, and he came down the floor and just made a simple play. Got Connor his 30 points.
Exactly. I remember one of the teleconferences earlier this year, a topic was brought up about playing weekend games and how hard it would be playing one the next day if you had after a win as opposed to after a loss. This is the first time you did that because the Delaware game, of course, was postponed. Is it any more difficult preparing after a win?
Well, I think the thing that you battle with it is the mindset of the team. I think any team that loses is going to have a little natural, chip on their shoulder. We got to come out and play better, and I think we've done that in the games that we've lost. And I thought Towson came out today with a really good energy and focus level. And I told our guys at halftime, I said, I don't need to ask the question as to who came in with the right mindset because we already have our answer after those last 20 minutes. And I think that's a real challenge. Is you've got to turn the page after that first game, regardless of the result, and refocus and get yourself ready to play the right way. And I think we struggled with that in the first half, and then we're able to bounce back in the second half.